Voice chat knows. What stock is that again? Welcome to Read the Room with Unc. What a month it's been. Let's keep it moving. What is up, everybody? This is Unc coming at you with this week's Read the Room. I'm coming off another pretty darn good week. I think we've had three straight this year. Maybe a little wash in one of them, but man, um, lots of stuff coming back. With a little bit of volume. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about more about reasons why in market cast and voice chat. Real quick though, recap on the week. I dropped these a little early on Friday, but here's the two lists that I put out each week. The other one would be the hot list with the professor, which most of these are on, but read the room list, which is what we're doing here. Real pumped that I did Beyond and Coin. If you watch most of the videos, I'm real bearish on these two. And to catch them at the proper time with some pretty big moves, I do like. Big part of that, though, is listening to the professor, reading his notes, and then forming my own opinion. But that's what it's all about. You all have that in you. So I hope some of you did that with some of these plays because man, there were some big weeds. A couple of the focus notes list that I also pointed out during the week. Redfin was one of them for sure, as well as I believe Chewy as well. Chewy as well was the other one. So just some really good plays this week. Couple mentions about the bottom. I definitely don't want to avoid that. But SQQ, Professor Tolley said we were weak early. Mentioned in chat how 38 was kind of our level, and here we are. So I'm very pumped to talk about that this weekend. I'm sure it'll be a main focus because when we do get pullback, this will be great. And then AG down here, the only guy that was red last week, but I actually traded this several times earlier in the week, and I'll show you here why. Just get respectful off the previous day high and lows, and you get these straight flushes. This is Monday. I wish I had one. Let's go to the big chart here. Um, I get 10 days on here. You was getting these morning flushes though every morning, and it was very consistent. Flush up, flush up, flush up, flush up. One day, excuse me, last 2 days I didn't really look at this one Friday, but then the one day it kind of failed. You really didn't get flushed out at your entry, especially if you used RTL. There just wasn't no continuation that day, so the trend had kind of changed. But for this one being on the bottom, this was very tradable. Um, this is when you got to read the room notes. So it checks back down to this level. This is that secondary move the first hour I'm talking about. But I mean, 1 hour into the day there at 7:10. That's 7:05. That's 7:35. So it's a little late that day after an initial move. Um, but but yeah, so sometimes even these lower ones are the ones that start out red. And I believe I mentioned that um, in chat is the ones that start out red are sometimes the better place. Normally don't pause, but I did pause there. All right, let's get it going standard style, and then I'm going to do some RTL basic recap at the end, especially since there's some new people. I'm going to save it for the end, though, so you have to watch the video. And go over just the basics of RTL so you know what the hell I'm talking about when I say RTL in voice chat. And you can just ask for some simple numbers if you don't have the system or you don't know how to grab the numbers. All right, so AI's first. Let's get the real read the room up. Oh, wrong way. I'm keeping a couple. Right there. I'm keeping a couple of these read the room lists. No lie. We're early on a lot of stuff. I want to keep track. AI, big move, big move. Socials are picking it up. I got 1660 to 20 is my normal channel. We were on this down here before the move started. I believe at the 12 level is where I liked it because it was building the support. Yeah, you can see right there. But I just want to see if there's continuation here, especially since the socials like it because AI is the future, kids these days. Bro, hold on, I gotta fix this. Thank you. All right, ATER 1 year gap book value. I should have put a price in there, but So this one's yeah, this is kind of a social play, but I like the volume profiles. One's 250, one's 4. So I didn't want to write that, and Professor hasn't been watching the videos, so I want to see what he has, especially since the strikes on this guy, like they only go to 3 on these. Oops, you can see I was in here, but they do go to 4.5 and 5. But low volume, a lot around this 250 mark. I can just see the open interest right there. I know how to read that. Um, but other than that, I just want to know what he sees. And then we got this big move in the post market. That did break that right there. So yeah, I just like the setup here. I like the setup here. Um, Probably more of a social than a news play, social TA play. So gonna be a little careful there unless we get A plus setup. CLSK 330 405 sector. It's a Bitcoin stock, or it moves on Bitcoin. It's like Clean Spark or something. Here, let's get a name for you. Yeah, Clean Spark. Bitcoin mining. Yeah, that's what they do. Sure. Um, sorry. 330, 405, I believe. Yeah, we're just getting back to that channel. This one's kind of the lagging Bitcoin, so I just want to see if there's some flow read. If it says 4, this is A plus in my opinion. Yeah, especially if Bitcoin continues to trend up. CrowdStrike 99.27 or $100. 103, 132, excuse me, 99 or 133. The 99 is just the way I write my notes because I want it at a certain price. Yeah, confirming this bottom channel. You can see it here. This is like, this looks like an SR flip. Resistance, support. And I just want to see if we have flow read continuation. Some of these plays are really shorted, and I think the wolves are going to come out on that. And some of these plays are severely undervalued if they do get good ER. So you kind of have a double catalyst on some of these plays, especially the ones that are known. The other one, Datadog, 89.39 trend. Big part of this is just keeping the professor on these as well. So this one was one of these inside bar plays I said we did really, really well on. And you can see it was back here on this inside bar, but this 70 level was really respected for the SR flip. And we are still topping out here. So there's definitely, if I was going to keep a line on this chart, it wouldn't be the 70, it'd be the 78, which is where we are now. So I just want to see the directions. Professor has 65s. Again, this could be a short play if he has the if he's getting back into the 90s or even 85s. We should stay on this for continuation back into the channel we originally had because it's the bigger channel on the larger term volume profiles. That's a lot of information. Sorry. Docu 57.21, 69, 16 bottom. Sorry, I was reading something. I'm gonna keep swinging here. I like the look of this thing, and it has a lot left to go if it does get moving. A little bit above volume profile here, but I do like this level in general. Just trying to be early. Man, that is a frying pan bottom on the weekly here, though. That doesn't look that bad. FSR 850, 1099 sector. I legit said this morning too I was going to leave a lot of EVs alone, but I did my notes last night, so if they lined up, they lined up. See that pop to the level 850. 850's been the resistance. Um, plenty of meat on the bone still, and I like the volume on this guy. Easy to trade. It's not like trading something that only trades 2 million shares a day or so. Best t-shirts in the EV game. FTCH 659 1004 reclaim. The previous winner here. Kind of got below our channel. You see the inflow outflow. This is what I'm talking about. This one looks more like Square, which it was a week early, but most of these are 1 week over here. So that's kind of telling. Why is this one early too? I understand why Square is early because it's great stock. Who doesn't want to be in Square? But this one I don't get why it's a week over. But a lot of things you're going to see this setup. We came down. The first of the year should be here. And then we came back up on the weekly. You'll see it clear as day. The sooner you know that, the better. And the later you know that, you need to understand how to identify laggers. This one doesn't look like a lagger, but we're reclaiming this channel. Has ran to 10 before. Um, even eight or nine is a good move. The way I play from here. So previous winner though. What's next? Fubo 239, 346, reclaiming it. I do think this pulls itself up out of here, but this 239 is the lowest level I have. This 280 I think kind of gonna blow through if we do get news, and then the 350 would be bigger. But without much news, this seems like a reasonable place where you could buy and sell if we just go sideways. Underneath, I really didn't like it. Yeah, because man, it fell a lot from here. But it's one of those ones that if people go back with the into the stuff that's gonna grow in the future, this is probably one of them that people will start to add a little bit more. And we do have a few of those on the list actually. Groupon 908 1479 on the Groupon. Yeah, you can see. Well, I'm all in on the weekly. Not bad. Yeah, you can see kind of flattening out here on the bottom, but this level seems big. I think this is an easy move to 14, 15 once we get back into 10. So trying to catch the flow here at 9 is, I think, best. A lot of these names like that, subpar, but you'd say them to most people and they know what they are names, should do fine in this current environment, especially if the feds and stuff next week are agreeable with the market. Same with this guy, Meta. 155.28 to 192. What? Did I not get lift on there? Oh, sorry. We're going to do lift first. Lift 1497, 2073. Top trend. So yeah, we killed this in, I believe it's the leaps. Came out this whole great. It's confirming this 15 level here. I think we have range to 20. It's a lot cleaner than it was 220 from here. And I guess I'm hopeful that it's in there because of this gap as well. But the 20, it seems like it should make back to this 20, and maybe even more. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and call crazy PTs. But plenty of range on that guy still. And we nailed the bottom on it, to be honest with you. Meta, yeah, 155.28, 192 ER. So these guys might be, because it's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, Monday too. These guys might get. They're playing around the rate hike, so that's going to be big into them. But most of these names are crawling out of these holes. I like this channel better than this bottom. Probably could have played it off of this 112, 115 level, but not my favorite stock to hold long term, so I'm not trying to buy it at the bottom. But this 155, you can see it right here. It was real strong before it broke down, so I'm trying to see what we have going the other way, especially around an ER event. Nikola 479 with the trend. Just trying to get back here. Has built really good support down here around the 250, 240 level. So I just want to see what Professor has in his notes, especially since EV's picking up. They're not really EV. I think they're like hydrogen vehicles now. Very weird company if they ever make it. Piton, best thing the guy ever did for that was the name. Piton 1312 to 840 ER, another ER play. A couple of those this week. Also on Professor's notes, but we're popping this 13 top. I don't really have a target. I know he mentioned 18s, but I don't really have a target. But you can see this being the spot where we're almost 100% going to have the support resistance flip at. Would I like a flush? Sure, but I just want to be active on what the flow says going into ER. They're one of the few companies that are doing a lot of advertising. Don't really know what I think about that right now, but they are definitely pumping, trying to rent out inventory or like a the payment program for their current inventory is kind of how I feel what they're doing. Rivian, 1928, 2960 volume profile sector. Yeah, remember me talking about tightening bolts? Not a big thing on the recall. Big run, one candle back to the channel level. So that's a red alert for me, especially since 30. Not much in the weight there, and the stock that has a very limited history down here. Volume profiles are up there as well, so I'll see what the professor has. Probably one of the better ones long term in my opinion, but also will not handle bad news or bad market conditions well at all. So you gotta have thick skin on that guy. RKLB 477, 410 top. This is a space play. Yep, it's confirming this top here. Done it a few times. Only thing I don't like is this longer trend. You can see it here too. Boom, boom, boom. Draw me a trend line goose. But other than that, I like this setup. Sometimes these stupid things just break out from there. But I do like the setup overall. Space play usually has good flow reads. The only thing I don't like about it is Cathie Woods buys it. Shake Shack, 57, 71, 40, 11 top of the food chain. Yeah, we're just in the top of the channel here. Love to see this. Love to see this kind of a frying pan. Bottom on the weekly, way below the 200. But you got the 5200 crossing on the day. The 5200 is ahead of everything except for on the weekly. We're going to talk a little bit more of that here in a second, though. But I like that setup. Tap. I'm really only on this one because it's 50, 90, 45, 54 top. This 50, 90 kind of comes up in the professor's end. It pings on his end real well. So we did the move from the last time. We broke out through it, came up, came back down. Just want to see if it's over. Especially since these guys should be loading for this ER event. Not the most range, but I think it's pretty good on the option side as far as pricing and stuff goes like that. All right, last week's hot list looks. They're not on the list, but we can check them out real quick. So Chegg, oh, they're going to be over here. Here, we can just do this. Bam. So Chegg. Yeah, we just got the consolidation off 20. We talked about this in voice real well. That's a nice doji. See if the flow finally kicks in on that. To me that's a 50%, or if it gets to get the ER from this $20 level, it's 50% in my opinion. That's 20 to 30. CBP, it's Campbell's. I'm not reading the numbers. I'm trying to be a little quicker here. Yep, just broke it. Broke down a little bit, but we'll be back on that guy. And this is probably a short play, to be honest with you, unless the flow is real good. And then Jack, man, the 73 is so strong on Jack, but the flow never comes in on it. Getting good consolidation for a flip, maybe another run back in here to the 80s or 90s. I just want to see what he says there. All right, what the hell is RTL? Respect the lines. It's just a system that I kind of created through the years to help identify longer term levels that line up with intraday levels. Meeting the professor and people from our old room kind of converted that more to a day trading style. So in a nutshell, what it is it's using historical and intraday levels that we get from volume profile. Normally volume bars go up and down. Everyone's seen them. Volume profiles basically go sideways, shows you the price is at. So what we like to do is identify those levels and look for opportunity. As you can see here, this volume profile is solid here. That's your point of control. And we just identified a kind of a safer level down here that probably also lines up with the flow. Then what we do from there is we look at that on multiple time frames. Weeklies, dailies, hour, 5 minute is what I prefer. See how those levels line up, see where we are, see how your EMAs line up, stuff like that. RTL has some basic components. Get up 5 minutes, 5 day. We use previous day highs and lows. These are plotted right here. You can see them. Pre-market high and lows. These are plotted right here. These are my darker lines. I have a script that I've worked on for years that just shows consolidation, short intraday. So this is the blue line. Those pop up here and there. Again, it's not a perfect system. It just kind of shows you consistency. So we try to find consistent levels to trade off of. especially when they line up with flows and option strikes. Um, you can take. Here, let me zoom in on a day. You can take this down to the day level, and it just gives you guidance. As you can see, the pre-market high and low was never tested. This confirmed the pre-market high, but it would not get through the high a day, so now we're kind of stuck in the middle of the zone. But you found that out within maybe the first hour and a half of the market. Um, Used to trade. Go back to flex grid here. We used to use the 1330 crossover, or I did. I'm now in the last like couple weeks have moved back to the 250. 1330 for me is more for a downside. It's quicker, obviously, so it helps you get out. 250 is more a long-term indicator, and currently I think that it's just personal opinion. I think that we're getting a lot of what do you want to call it? Hedge funds, the big investors, mutual funds, people like that. The big dogs are buying off of the 200. So, the algos shop off of that. So I think that's more of a something that's being respected right now. Let me bring up like a Tesla. I think something like that's being more respected right now, in my opinion. So yeah, we just look to identify again levels that are more longer term levels um, that hold up very, 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 very well um, intraday. So these will also be respected on the day and the intraday, as you can see here. Yeah, so it's pretty basic. So when we talk RTL on a day-to-day basis, what would we play Friday? BuzzFeed. When we talk about it on a day-to-day basis, and I do want to cut this short after this, um, this is what we're looking at. This is what we see, and we go to the bigger, or what I see. I shouldn't say we, speak for myself. This is what I see. You have this big move, and it shows you highs and lows from the previous day. So you take these four levels, and you just look for confirmation. A little cheating on this one because my script was my confirmation for this bigger move. But that's all we're looking for is the play inside. As I say, it's play inside these boxes that we never got back to the pre-market low. Kind of confirms that we're going to continue high, especially when you break through the high. So this was really playable, in my opinion, to here. Anything around $3, you should have done really good on this, especially with the flow read to 4. But yeah, now we're getting a little too much recap. But yeah, so it's basically just using that system every day. Coming in here, looking at some charts, seeing where the levels line up to the previous day, and playing that level. Boop, 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 boop. All right, everybody. Sorry, it's a little long this week. Hope you all have a good weekend. Rest up, refresh, get ready to rinse and repeat some stuff because these stocks got ranges. All right, everyone, have a great day. As always, respects the line. Most importantly, read the room.